Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. It is Ian and Thomas with you to talk about. There is only one league to talk about, and that is League One. We're up to week 30, according to our statistics, but that doesn't mean that everyone's played 30 games, not by a long shot. But that's what we're saying it is, and we're sticking to it. So, to give you a quick recap, there were a lot of games called off, and we didn't do too well with the games that were on, but it was me who was the victor out of the two of us. Thomas showed me the light by backing Burton, and I did by getting them to win 2-0 over Northampton. And I also got a nice one for Plymouth beating Fleetwood as well, which means I am back up by 12 points to 11 overall. Much needed victory in that one. Tom, before we start this off, it's tradition that you give us a quote.
No, my quote is Emilio Cardenas, who said last week, "Happy Chinese New Year, it's the year of the ox." Seems like good news for United.
I like it.
Predicted a win, they got a win. Seems like something we should highlight. And with that said, and no more lollygagging about Ian Allen, let's get into the first game. Doncaster Rovers versus Hull City.
A big game at the top, Thomas, and a bit of a derby that is for sure. Although I don't think the Doncaster fans treat because they're not in Yorkshire, I don't think they treat anybody outside of Yorkshire as a true rival. So both these sides stuttering a little bit as late. I very much enjoyed being on the Hull City Twitter page as they were losing 1-0 to to MK Dons. Wow, there was a lot of shit for Grant McCann. McCann out, he's a clown, he's useless, he's rubbish. My God, Hull fans, my God. Are you that scared that you're gonna throw this good half of the season away, that you want your manager out? I can't believe that's the majority of your fans. But and after finding out that Doncaster are the greatest thing since sliced bread after beating Oxford, they've gone and had a few iffy results themselves, Thomas. They like to evolve and they like to change for who they're playing against.
You're loving this quote,
aren't you? Donny,
you're loving this
job.
Quote.
Yeah, I'm still bitter about it.
Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? Ian, I'm just gonna say it. Doncaster to win 2-1.
I think. Oh, that's probably some smart money, isn't it? So let's draw 1-1.
One apiece.
Gillingham versus Bristol Rovers.
Bristol Rovers are back.
Brilliant result for Rovers. Congratulations to them. Charlie from One Rovers Logs must be doing cartwheels after they beat Portsmouth out of nowhere. Went a goal down, came back to beat them 3-1. A huge victory for the Gats. I think pretty much the opposite happened to Gillingham, if I'm not mistaken, Thomas.
Yeah, they were on their way to a wonderful 1-0 win. Peterborough couldn't put anything together at home, and then Gillingham, as far as I'm concerned, threw it away. I mean, yes, they lost the better team, who's a very good team, but they threw it away. Threw it away, Ian. Yeah. Totally lost it. Yeah.
They got no good players, Peterborough, then. No good players.
No. Jordan Clark-Harris, whatever his name is, couldn't hit a barn door. Couldn't hit a barn door.
It's good. It's good because it's not him. But
Jamie Clark-Harris? Jaden Clark-Harris.
Keep going. We're not even talking about Peterborough here, but keep going.
Firmino Clark-Harris? Yeah. Man, I feel like Bristol Rovers could get a win here.
You like them, do you? You like them? Back-to-back wins for the Gas?
Yeah. I am going to go with a 2-1 Rovers victory.
Well, I think it's only customary that I go the reverse then. I'll go for a 2-1 Gillingham victory. Otherwise, Steve Evans won't be able to sleep at night.
Accrington Stanley versus Shrewsbury Town.
Thomas, what has got you so upset about Aki? What have they done wrong? They're still doing well.
Different form.
Tour against Lincoln.
Yeah, but they're dropping away, and it's sad times because despite my desperate love affair with this club, they're now sunk below Oxford in the table, and that is the mark of a true failure of a team.
I believe that could be remedied, though. Are they not playing tomorrow night? They are. They've got Doncaster tomorrow night. So if they can beat them, then they'll be back above Oxford. I think they'll be back above Oxford with a point, actually. So they only need a point.
They only need a point. Well, I still think Stanley having a good season. What are your views on the Shrewsbury Town?
Again, they're not doing badly. They're an improving side, but they seem to have games called off all the time. Like they had another one called off at the weekend. They can never seem to get any consistency together because they never play.
Fantastic result the week before, though.
Pardon?
Fantastic result the week before against Sunderland, though, winning 2-1.
Absolutely, a great result, and they would have liked to have backed that up against Ipswich, but the game was called off. So I'm not sure if they might be playing. No, they didn't have a midweek game as well. So maybe they were probably due to play Oxford, and then Oxford were in the bloody. They were probably due to play Oxford or Lincoln, and they were in the Papa John's, so they're not getting any luck with that. So it's difficult to put your real finger on how good or how bad the Shrewsbury Town side is. So because I don't know, and because I love to see Accrington fail, I will be back in Shrewsbury, and I see nothing but a 3-1 win for the Shrews.
That is so rogue, Ian. It's clearly 2-0 to Aki.
Burton Albion versus Sunderland.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank may be the greatest manager in Greater Britain right now. He is on a roll. This Burton team have won 3 of the 4 matches he's been in charge of. They're right back up there. They're only 3 points from safety, Ian. This is the Phoenix rising from the ashes. This is David beating Goliath.
Pretty sure a few seasons ago, when Burton survived their only season in the Championship, like they survived their first season, in the Championship. I'm sure they beat Sunderland on the last day to send Sunderland down.
Well, how would you like to see Sunderland lose again, Ian? Especially with them directly above.
A good result, though, aren't they? The Charlie Wyke show, as it was against Doncaster, where he banged in 4 goals. And they beat the ever-changing, ever-evolving, ever-mutating Doncaster 4-1.
Well, let me point out something to you. Sunderland are completely incapable of winning 2 games in a row.
Yeah, but that means, they've got to play Lincoln in the Papa Johnsville Championship. That might end that streak, and then they'll go into this one, starting a new streak.
Oh. So if they beat Lincoln, then they'll definitely lose this game. But the Lincoln game is now key.
Definitely not win it. They might spawn a draw.
Spawn a draw.
Do love
right, Ian. You want 1-1? Do you want?
No, but I know. I'm just saying they do love 1-1.
Yeah, that is their favourite scoreline. That is a valid shout. Penalties.
Oh, we've gone wrong. We've gone different on every game. It's going to be an exciting one so far. I'm going to back Sunderland, and they're probably not. They probably are going to fail me again.
Ooh.
2-0 Sunderland.
Oh, that's foolish as. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is going to come on. He's going to grab himself a break. It's 3-1.
He's going to grab himself a break, did you say?
I meant to say brace. I will admit that I stumbled over my words there a little bit. Fleetwood Town versus Carlton Athletic.
And neither one of these sides are in particularly good form. They've won the odd game here or there. And I don't expect this one to be a very good one. And I can see this one. I see this one petering out to a bit of a stalemate. I'm going to go 0-0.
Looking at Carlton, and I'm seeing a stone fall into the ocean at speed.
What?
And as such, did you go 1-1?
0-0.
No, I'm going to go.
What did you mean? What are you talking about? I see a stone falling into the ocean.
Slowly falling to the bottom. You can see the air bubbles coming above them.
Oh, I see where you're
They're
going.
just slipping into eternity.
Okay, we got there in the end. There's fast-paced action on this video today. I feel like we're reading a bedtime story to a child. McDonald's Dons versus Northampton Town.
Well, I spent all of the beginning of the season singing the praises of this MK Dons side that could possess the ball and do really well. And then the minute I'm like, okay, it's failing. They've won like 5 or 6 games in their last 10. They've won 3 of the last 4. They're scoring goals where once they weren't. They're looking really good now, Ian. Don't look now, but they've conceded less than Oxford United.
That's a fallacy. That's not right.
Do you have the numbers to prove that, sir?
Well, it looks like it should be an easy win for MK Dons. Northampton did get a pretty decent 0-0 draw today. something which is very rare for them to get a clean sheet, but they're not scoring many goals, are they? They've only scored 20 all season, which is a really poor return. And Russell Martin is doing a superb job, as much to my annoyance, at MK Dons. And I think that the old Jerome Grigg 1-2 punch, 2-0 to the Muck Dons.
I'm going to go 3-0. Peterborough United versus AFC Wimbledon.
Peterborough did the impossible today. The impossible. They never won an away game in their history. And they went and won today by 3-1 from a goal down at Gillingham, of all places.
Did David Clark-Harris score the goals?
It was close, Thomas. Johnson, Clark, Harris.
We got there eventually. So Christy Clark-Harris scores. Good. And a solid 3-1 win, and that's a great result. We know they're incredible at home. Anything to say about Wimbledon, who are almost in the relegation zone?
They'll do well to avoid a hiding in this game, and I can see it being a high score. But as I went first last time, I will let you go first.
0
4-1. Portsmouth versus Blackpool.
So Pompey are coming off a hiding. That happened to Bristol Rovers. I mean,
you could say they're on a hiding to nothing in this game.
Jacket out.
After every time Kenny Jackett doesn't take at least 4 points in a game, then he is Jacket out. Well, he's trying to get a bit of sympathy, hasn't he, in the week by
having surgery.
Getting surgery, so he's going to miss a few games. But yeah, big week for Pompey. Blackpool home, Oxford away the next game after that. So we will certainly know whether they are the real McCoy after those.
Quaking. They're quaking in their boots against you, Ian. Quaking.
Last time Pompey came to the Kassam, Thomas, what happened?
0-0 draw?
It was a 0-0 draw, but Simon Eastwood won the penalty shootout and Oxford went through to the playoff final.
I mean, what were the odds of me getting that right, though?
Yeah.
5
You
points?
should have got it right. You should have got it right. You should have remembered.
I should have. I'm pretty sure we may have live streamed that or whatever. Anyway, Blackpool, Ian, thoughts?
Crazy as ever, aren't they? They're up and down, up and down, up and down.
All
Like
over the
you know what? I think they won today. I think they had a 1-0 win, which is crazy a result as it is because they beat Rochdale 1-0. Which, what the fuck? Mainly because how's that only one goal in a Rochdale game? And so they'll give Pompey a hard game, but you're always going to be backing Pompey at Fratton Park, I think, and I think they'll win 2-1.
I will go 2-0. Ian's favourite club, Rochdale versus Plymouth Green Army Argyle.
It isn't a happy time for my beloved Dale, Thomas. Only one win out of the last 5 games, and there are a lot of L's in that column, which is not good. 55 goals conceded now, and it's really, really starting to mount up against Brian Barry Murphy, and I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they panic and get rid of him and bring in somebody maybe like a Paul Tisdale, who's just become recently available, that can come in and...
Recently single
Paul Tisdale can come in and maybe get them some quick and cheap, easy love or points.
I mean, there's 7 clubs going for relegation. Like, just assuming
Going.
Shrewsbury...
They are going for... They've said, we are
Doing their
going
best.
for relegation this season. We
Well,
will
I mean-
spare no expense. We are going for relegation.
It feels like it's Swindon.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with a Plymouth 2-0 win because they're on a pretty good run of form, and I trust everybody more than Rochdale.
Right, just because the fans demand it and just because you forgot because you're a tired little lamb. Plymouth Argyle.
Green Army?
There we go.
I said it in the intro.
No, you didn't.
I said Plymouth Green Army
Well,
Argyle.
you didn't say it or I wasn't listening, but either way, you said it now. I also think that it will be a Plymouth win. Let's go for one of those crazy games. Rochdale 2, Plymouth 4.
I will introduce the next game.
No,
but
you
remember
will not.
this.
No, you will not, because I'm scared you will actually mention the name of the club, which you're not allowed to do. The club that shall not be named against Crewe Alexandra.
So every single time I look at Swindon, they've lost a match.
Don't say their name.
Sorry. Every time I look at the club that should not be named, they've lost a match or it's been cancelled. So I'm not going to back them in this. I know last time they lost it was to Portsmouth, but I don't think it's a good idea to back them. And Crewe, I think we said this about 50 times now. They're going to come up just short of playoffs. They're proven that they deserve to be in the league. They've been a really hard team to play. They've had some really good results. And I believe that they will continue that here with a 1-0 victory.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Thomas. That almost makes me want to drive down to the county ground to go and watch that game.
Just to see it.
I see your 1, and I raise you another 1, and I say it'll be a 2-0 win for Crewe.
I thought you were going to go with a 1-1 draw.
No. You know I can't back them lot to get out.
Fair.
Wigan Athletic versus Lincoln City.
Lincoln City, Ian, are sitting pretty. That's right. They topped the table after a draw. It's been a fantastic run of matches for Lincoln. They've retaken the lead with Hull dropping into third. Local Lincoln expert, Ian Allen.
Well, that's if you're talking a while ago, because they've been at the top of the league for a while. They have a game against Sunderland in the Papa John World Championship semi-final, so they've got no league game this midweek, which means Peterborough have closed the gap to 1 point behind them. They will probably be a bit annoyed they didn't hold on to a 2-1 win against Accrington and let that slide to get a 2-2 draw, but they were 1-0 down in that game, so it was a bit of a bonkers one. And you would imagine anybody looking at this game on paper will think it's going to be an easy win for Lincoln, but Wigan will do what they did against Oxford. They'll make it a hard game. They'll put people behind the ball. They'll try and go for a bit of a smash and grab. And I think that I wouldn't be shocked if it ended up being like a 1-1 draw or even like a 1-0 win for Wigan. But as it is, I am going to back Lincoln, and I think they will get a 2-1 win.
I've got to copy you, Ian. It's going to be 2-1.
Yes. That's all the riff-raff out of the way. It's time to get serious. It's time for the crunch time. It's time for the main event.
Ipswich Town versus Oxford United.
You may have messed that intro up, Thomas, and had to redo it. Spoilers for a peek behind the curtain there for people of very biased opinions. But I feel you're going to make another error here. And I feel your second error will be backing Oxford United to win.
Not this again.
I must, please tell me that you are not going to be backing Oxford in this one.
Both know I'm going to back Oxford in this one. We both know it.
Absolutely. Are you mad? Are you absolutely mad? And I find myself having to drop to my knees right in front of you once again and find myself begging you to reconsider this decision. Do you not know anything? Do you not know anything? I'm going to teach you now. You shut up. You don't know anything about football.
Okay.
Do you not know anything about the history of football? Ipswich Town, the majesty of this club. They won the First Division in the 60s. They've won the FA Cup. They've won the the UEFA Cup. And they also won the very prestigious Texaco Cup in 1972-73. So it's a club, honestly, steeped in history, steeped in tradition. Obviously, the great man Bobby Robson once managed them to those glory all those years ago. How could you possibly think Oxford are going to get anything against this Ipswich Town side?
May I say one thing? Ipswich are garbage. That's my entire argument. Also, Oxford are really good right now. They're on good form. They've lost one of their, last 12 league matches. They've looked pretty good in all of them. They somehow beat Wigan last week. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but they did it. I think Ipswich will actually be easier to play than Wigan. So, I think they're going to win 2-0.
You're a mad and crazy man, Thomas Pickering. A mad and crazy man. And when you do your research on Ipswich Town for the Plug Oxford United preview show this Friday, you will see just how wrong you are. Ipswich Town had a 0-0 draw today. And they had another man sent off in the last minute. They seem to get a lot of people sent off, my goodness. And last time Oxford went there to Portman Road, it was a 1-0 win by Matty Taylor. The scores are mirroring what they were last year as well. We had a 0-0 at the Kazam. We had a 0-0 this year. Are we going to get a 1-0 Oxford win at Portman Road this time around? I know what I'm going to be backing. Ipswich Town 0, Oxford United 1. And as we will be going into this in more detail in the preview show, I will just say one thing. This is the start of Oxford United's important run of games. We've done extremely well, an amazing run. And don't take anything away from the players for winning like how many games it is in a row. It is extraordinary. To recover us from that bad start, to get us near the playoffs is magnificent. But now it's almost like the business starts now. We're playing a lot of the sides at the top. Those are the sides we've struggled to beat this season. We need to start beating them.
So, tune in here tomorrow, 7:45. It's the Oxford United preview show where we'll look at this game and talk more about their Papa John's misery. After that, Saturday, 2:45.
We won't be talking about that.
2:45 Saturday, we will be live streaming Ipswich Town versus Oxford United, and I will be doing my best Soccer Saturday impression in the background. 7:45 Saturday, our review of Oxford United's win over Ipswich Town will be put out. Sunday, more Champions League for you. It's heating up, ladies and gentlemen. It's exciting. Come join us. In the meantime, comment, like, subscribe, keep supporting us, and if you feel the need, write us very strongly worded letters telling us what you'd like us to do in the future.